na from Kumasi Nyame. And if didn't come out Afro Ghana, I was saying himself, mind you, on Afro 614 radio there. Yeah, but social works na ne ba be na ya ka politics kakra na di enkomo kakra na say ye de djumadi na kwa wie. Timpacha oba ya no share video no e de amame. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. And one thing I would need you to do for me is to say, go Facebook, go like your page, you know, go YouTube, so now subscribe it, or like it, or comment it. Say, yeah, algorithm no best suggest video nama any public break. I'm almost waiting me ide. I should video ni be. Your friend Kumasi Nyame, mention ho cry no. Hey, so galo. Elebedi ko. But answer no. Quick copy. In your name say friend Inkwell no. Omuye printing and printing omuye volume copies, omuye color copies, omuye business cards, envelopes, brochures, flyers, promo items, booklets, carbonless forms, invitations, rubber stamps, photos. Anything printing biara uhien biara. Anything printing biara uhien biara no. Eye quick copy eye day. Eye printing no the amount. Watch your book na upo bi amna publish amount so abrabe hu kwesi jima ewo quick copy obedi hu dwumadi nyina the amount. A quick copy wo 1900 East Dublin Granville. 1900 East Dublin Granville Suite 10. You know, so Columbus here, zip code near 43229. 43229. Oba Kwesijima Bedi Jumedi na the amount. If you also call Revolt Africa, a platform be open Yuma Aba market for an ATI. You just go to the Revolt Africa platform. App no Play Store and App Store, you know, until you can download. If you want to listen to fresh music from fresh artists, that is where you go to. This is for Africans, so that's where you go to. And then you can also go to www.revoltafrica.net. Revoltafrica.net. Okoho swa ebedwe egu ama onese why de onya enwum no bi e de atie. Iti enwum kakra.
Minyamie ejo nyamia owonkwa minyamie ejo nyamia owonkwa ye minyamie adum nyamia owonkwa Kayanwo de maye miremwo Yabeka sempa ye dia chiramai Asumje no nyame dia maye ni o Owo de pape wa pa maye bra Kayanwo na ya miremwo Eradi kayanwo na ya miremwo Yabeka sempa ye dia chiramai Asumje no nyame dia maye ni o Owo de wa pa maye bra.
Yes, asumye de nyame de amaye, your destiny nyame de amaye. Said ye de beye de eshe ne ayensem. What I say? Said ye de your destiny beye as a nation, no. Eshe ye ayensem. And a topic I will be treating me see a nation without purpose. A nation without purpose. Okay, the Ghana ekwe let's say a nation without purpose. But answer na me ko tidbits in them. Tidbits, you know. First was say thousands of Ghanaians stranded in Nigeria after being scammed. Thousands of Ghanaians stranded in Nigeria after being scammed. So thousands of Ghanaians have been reportedly falling prey to a travel scam and have been left stranded in Nigeria and Cameroon. According to a video from Adwuma FM's Facebook page, the stranded Ghanaians were promised employment opportunities and visas to travel abroad in a scam which involved persons from both Ghana and Nigeria. The report added that some of the scammers were arrested on Friday, January 6, 2022, by the Ghana Police Service in Ejoso, a suburb of Kumasi in the Ashanti region. One of the victims of the scam, a man who spoke to Akuma FM, said that he was promised employment opportunities and a visa to travel abroad, only to be left stranded in an uncompleted building in Nigeria. He said that he went to Lagos, Nigeria, to meet the travel agents who were supposed to facilitate his travel after paying them with the help of his friend in France. I am one of the victims who was stranded in Nigeria. I met the agent in Lagos who took me to a hotel where I spent 3 days. The agent told me that I was supposed to have an interview, and after the 3 days, he took me to a building in Lagos where I was to have the interview. At the office, I met some Ghanaians who presented themselves as security officers, which gave me some confidence, he said in Chi. The victim, however, added that in the course of the interview, he realized that he had been scammed when the interviewer started asking him unnecessary questions. The news report also showed when the police arrested at least 6 men in Ejoso who are alleged to be involved in the rip-off and a building in Nigeria where some of the victims of the scam were being kept. Yes, Ghana ni amani hununo. The present day Ghanaian, the youth of Ghana namani hununo. Another tidbit: Bulldog fined 48,000 for threatening Akufo-Addo over men's gold saga. See, in a couple of months, yeah, I think somewhere last year on UTV, Bulldog was on the show, and I think a few Schwarzenegger was on the show too, and Bulldog said, President name Tieskana, men's gold sikana only in the time, and because of that, he was arrested. So this is it. The Accra High Court has fined artist manager Lawrence Danesiama Hansen, aka Bulldog, an amount of 48,000 Ghana cedi over his comment on TV that President Akufo-Addo will not finish his second term if he does not pay customers of men's gold. According to GraphicOnline.com report, he is to spend 40 days in prison if he fails to pay the fine. In January 2021, Anesiama Hansen, while making a submission on UTV's United Showbiz on Saturday, January 9, 2021, said President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo will not complete his 4 terms in office if aggrieved customers of the gold dealership firm do not get their locked up funds. Bulldog also said that suggestions that customers invested at their own peril hence cannot be hold the government responsible for the inconvenience caused them is unacceptable. 4 years. I'm telling you, he won't finish his 4 years. A visibly angry Bulldog vehemently backed. He established that his concerns are not influenced by the fact that he was once an employee of Xylophone Media, one of the companies owned by Men's Gold boss Nana Appiah Mensah Nam1, but was as a result of the fact that he is a victim. Following his comment, the artist manager was sued over for offensive conduct conducive to breach of the peace. He pleaded not guilty during earlier appearance in court, but was, however, found guilty at Tuesday's court hearing. Bulldog, in the defense, said his comment was to appeal to the president and that he had no intention of threatening the president. However, the court, presided by Evelyn Asamoah, said the judge was of the considered opinion Bulldog could not had intended to appeal to the conscience of the president due to the gravity of his statement. The judge indicated that Bulldog's statement clearly threatened the peace and was meant to incite people against the first gentleman of the land. So this is it. Bulldog and watcher. Bulldog and watcher. Asebo minti nyum kakra. Bulldog watcher.
Kayanwo na ya miremwo. Onyame kayanwo na ma ya miremwo. Yebeka sempa ye dia chirama. Yes,
Bulldog watcher no nti na tidbits no. Ene no. Ghana for me, sometimes you think about the nation and then you're like, oh my God. Ghana for nipa mako 48. Omu situation mako pimu Nigeria no. Ya scam omo. Ya scam omo. A nation without purpose. A nation without purpose. But before then, let's talk about McMill situation. I think said on the Afro Drive with MC Kiki and Jasmine, when I came on, I made my submission. It didn't spend much time on McMill again. I think what the government did, I think what the government did, it was appalling what the handlers did. It was appalling what the president, his daughter, all of them, all the security apparatus, what they did. No, I think say by this time, almost every Ghanaian knows to say this is a shame. This thing shouldn't have even happened in the first place. But the fact of the matter is, of course, the foot soldiers will definitely come back and defend. But every right-thinking Ghanaian knows say what happened. No, it was wrong. It shouldn't have even happened in a security zone like that. And on that channel. And on that channel, so share drones are near which is just say, oh, check it out to say it is wrong. McMill as a person who understands system in the nation that he's from, he has accepted, said, oh, yeah, you know, it was wrong. Even though he wasn't intending it for malice. It wasn't intended for malice, no. He has accepted that what he did was wrong. Now, I don't believe that the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, would apologize to Ghanaians for what he has done or what he allowed or what he presided over. I do not believe that he will apologize to Ghanaians, but it will be in his own interest that he apologized to the people of Ghana, the good people of Ghana that gave him the power to preside over us. It is good. It is matured. It shows leadership responsibility that he apologized to the people of Ghana for endangering our sovereignty in that manner. I will not comment on this situation again. I know everybody that has seen this video. I know every Ghanaian. I know every single sensible or conscious person who has seen these footages knows it is not in the right direction. So the president and his people should do the needful. If maybe some people should lose their jobs for breaching our security. I know for a fact that Akufo-Addo would never apologize because he has never apologized in his life, because he's never thought he's wrong ever in his life. But this time, it would do him good if he apologized to the people of Ghana. So to the main topic, today I'm speaking about a nation without purpose. And when I'm saying a nation without purpose, what exactly do I mean by a nation without purpose? As we all know that every nation have a system. Like when you come to the United States of America, they have a system, they have a belief, they have a way of executing that system that they believe in, which is the capitalism that they are doing. So they have a free market that allows everybody to put whatever they want to do in the market so far as that it passes all the licensing. You know, if it passes all the licensing, then that person have every right to sell, to make money in their economy. That is where the free market of America is. When you go to China, the Chinese people have looked at industrialization, skilled and precision industries that are going to help the economy. That is what the Chinese are doing. So when you look at most of the things that you see in the world right now, everything is made in China because they have decided this is where they are going to, or this is what they are going to do. When you look at Italy as a nation, you can talk about fashion. When you look at Italy as a nation, you can talk about fashion. Most of the best shoes, dress shoes in the world is made in Italy. Dress shirts and all that stuff made in Italy. They have made a conscious decision that this is where we are following as a nation. When you look at India, when you look at India, what is India doing? India is about technology. India is about technology. So when you look at all these technologies in this world, you could tell that they're all from India. All these Indians in the world order, they are doing IT. That is what India is also doing, because they do believe that the IT, the world that we are moving in right now, is for computers. And to be able to function right in this society, you need to be computer literate or internet literate, whatever it is. And that is how India is also running their economy. When you look at Ghana, our beloved country, how are we doing it? What exactly are we doing? And that's why I call a nation without purpose. A nation without purpose. When you look at the nation, you cannot tell that in the next 10, 20 years, this nation will be here because this nation is doing this. Oh, I can see you. I can see you. I greet you. I can see you. Mamsi Darling is watching. Thank you for watching. If you are on it, so please share it for me. Thank you. So when I look at my nation, Ghana, I think about it. What is this nation doing? What is this nation I call Ghana, my beloved country, doing? What is the direction of this nation? In the next 10 to 20 years, where will the nation be? In the next 10 to 20 years, where will our nation be? Will we still keep on begging for arms as we are doing or as we've been done all these years? Especially since we took over governance in 1957, as we've been begging and begging and begging and pleading with the international world every single year. Ghana has gone to the IMF 17 times. Is it the direction that we want to go in the next 20 years? We still want to be going to the IMF again? Is the IMF going to dictate to us who to employ and who not to employ? Is that the route that we are about to go? Is that what we want to do as a people? What is the direction? Are we going to ever have a president or a leader of this nation that is not going to be focused on party manifesto, party constitution, party people, but a development plan for the nation? Are we ever going to have a leader like that? Are we ever going to have a leader who is going to be there for us? A leader who will say that enough is enough. This is the route that the nation is going, and we are going to move in this route. And we are going to focus on industries, or we are going to focus on agriculture. Are we ever going to have a leader like that? Are we? When you look at all these nations, when you look at Japan decided to go into automobile industry. So you look at all these big automobiles. Japan, you have, as a matter of fact, just today it came out that the most popular vehicle ever to make in the world is Toyota Corolla. It has sold over 68 million units. Yes. Toyota Corolla has sold over 68 million units. Toyota is a Japanese company. They have Honda, they have Mitsubishi, you name it. All these cars, economic cars that are good for people, that durability and all that is from Japan. So Japan has chosen a path. You go to Germany, they also goes into the auto industry. You see Mercedes-Benz, VW, Audi, all those cars, Germany. So it seems every nation knows exactly where they want to go. And I'm looking at our nation, Ghana. And when I look at the nation, I do not see the exact thing that we want to do. I do not see the exact plan that we have. There's no developmental plan. The nation is run on a party's manifesto. So if a party is running and they decide that they are going to run secondary school for 4 years, and in the next government they feel like in the manifesto they said they're going to run the nation for secondary school for 3 years, it switches back to 3 years. So this year we have people graduating for 4 years, and the next year we have people graduating for 3 years. And when you sit down as a nation and you think about all this, you tend to ask yourself that, where did we go wrong as a people? Where exactly did we go wrong? how can we fix this blunder? How can we fix this blunder? How? How on earth are we going to fix this? It is hard. It is hard. As we all know that it's easier said than done. But we can do it when we focus that we are going to do it. When we have a plan, a precise plan, and we have an execution to it, we can definitely do it. But why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? I want you to sit down and think about it. Why are we not doing it? Is it that we cannot do it? Is it that we don't want to do it? Why are we not doing it? Because you cannot sit down, as you can just sit down and say, when you talk about Netherlands, you can easily talk about textiles. Like, oh, Netherlands there and Tomadia, Netherlands. When you sit down and you talk about the United States, you can easily talk about Hollywood, movies. You can easily talk about technology. When we talk about India, you can easily say IT. When you talk about Japan, you can easily say automobile. When you talk about Italy, you can even say agriculture. You know? When all these nations are being mentioned, there's something that is associated with the nation. But the moment we mention Ghana, I don't even know. The question will be, what is associated with Ghana? The moment we mention Ghana, we don't even know what is associated with Ghana. I want you to sit down and just reflect on it. You see, the biggest problem that we are having right now, and that is going to be a national security issue very, very soon, is unemployment. You see, because Ghana does not have a plan, we are putting everybody in school. Oh, go to school, go to school, go to university. Now the universities, the four main universities, University of Ghana, Legon, Tech, UCC, Gempa. Let me add the other ones. Gempa, Volta. All these universities, excluding of the private universities, they are giving us over 200,000 graduates every year. 200,000 graduates every year. So as we are looking at 2023 right now, we are going to have 200,000 students graduating from school. 200,000 Ghanaian youth coming out. And based on that, it's going to be only 5.6% people who are going to have jobs. 5.6% people who are going to, this is from the Auditors General. It's only going to be 5.6% of the 200,000 that's going to have a job. Even if we are looking at 10% of them having a job, we are looking at 180,000 people coming out of university not having a job. This is 180,000 people. So if it's 5%, then we are looking at like 190,000 people. 190,000 people coming out without a job. If every year you keep putting people in the economy, you keep putting 190,000 people in the economy without a job, think about it. If you are a leader of this nation, what you think is going to happen? When people don't have job, when people are not working, what do you think is happening? That's when crime rates goes up. That is why sicknesses goes up. That is why mental issues goes up. There's a lot of social vices that goes up when the people of the nation are not working. And this is the youth. So imagine in the next 10 years, we are going to have 1.9 million Ghanaian youth who are graduates with no job. So you think about it. The men who go into crimes, the guys who go into crimes, and the ladies who go into prostitution. That is what is going to happen. Do we even have a leader who will sit down and says enough is enough? Instead of doing free senior secondary school, maybe let's do free skilled work. Maybe let's do free vocational school. Or maybe let's do free technical school. Let's find people that are mechanics, people that are carpenters, people that are painters, steel benders, tailors. Why are we so focused on the Guggisberg era of economy? After 100 years, since 1927, that Guggisberg left Ghana, we are still practicing this system, and we have not achieved anything from this system. I want you to sit down, my brother and my sister, and think about it. If the nation is churning over 1.9 million people into the economy every 10 years, think about it, 1.9 million people without a job in the next 10 years. This is what we are doing to our economy. When the government was introducing the free senior high school, me and a couple of my colleagues were like, yeah, it is good to give free education to the people, but what is the point of telling the people to go to school and then after school there's no work? So give them something that's going to give them work right away. And that is what we were talking about, skilled, vocational, and technical schools. So we have phone repairers, we have painters, we have mechanics, we have carpenters, we have everything. Like people that you would need right away. People go to school, and the sad part of it is those who go to school to do general acts. The general acts. It's sad. Like you can barely do anything with it. Most of them. You know, you go to school and you do this course with a view that you come out, you go to university, you work, and after university, you're going to make a living out of this. Guess what? There's nothing for you. There's nothing for you because this is the system that we have built. But I'm telling you, there's always a job for painters. There's always a job for builders. There's always a job for phone repairers. There is always a job for mechanics. There is always a job for carpenters. There's always going to be a job for this skilled, what we call Adwuma. And this is the reason why China is where it is, where our people want to travel from Ghana to go to China to work. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not saying enough is enough? Enough of learning government. Enough of learning history. You share history in your history, no. History in the bad day. If there's no job, why not be to me? Ghana or something? History. I'm gonna to your. Is that a need? Yes, I'm not saying that history is not good. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, see, nothing is important. We need to eat. And if we eat, after we eat, then we look at other things. So why are we not putting our education? You see, we cannot build our education like the Westerners. Their way of doing things is different. We are totally different people. And our system and their system, it doesn't match. Can you think about it like if we have vocational people that all they do is to plant nursery, food nursery in schools, to decide at this point, you know, and we are being now the fertilizer we want at this particular time. Those are the things that we need to focus on. You go to Ghana, our land is so fertile that I keep saying that even when you just throw a corn, maize, corn, whatever it is, on the floor, don't dig no hole. It will still germinate and you will get a corn, maize. That is how fertile our soil is. What are we doing with it? Instead of we getting all these minerals and gold and all that, why are we not training blacksmiths? Why are we not training goldsmiths as a vocational education. Why are we not doing this? Don't you think that if we do this, it's going to create a lot of jobs in our economy? Think about it. Why don't we have schools that teaches you, vocational schools that teaches you how to can tomatoes? So all the tomatoes that are coming from Techiman and their environs, and the Techiman and the areas, all the tomatoes that are coming from those areas, so they will never be rotten. We can can them and probably export some of them. Why can't we do that? Why can't we have a leader that's going to say that, listen, this is the plan and this is what the whole nation is going to follow? It's like the nation does not have any plan. So anybody that comes into power does whatever he wants. If a nation has a plan, a president cannot just get up one day and say that I made a promise to my God, so therefore I'm building National Cathedral, and then he decides to break down properties of the nation just because he has a covenant with his God, or he has a promise with his God, and he's going to build this because he made a decision that when he wins election, he's going to build something for his God, or a cathedral for his God. If the nation have a proper plan, this would never happen. This is something that I want us all to look at. This is something that we all need to look at. Yes, things are not going to be rosy, and things are not rosy anywhere you go in the world.
Adwuma with Kumasi Nyame on Afro 614 Radio.
Things are not going to be rosy, but we need to make a step. We need to make a plan. We need to make a decision as to where we want to point our nations to, as to where we want to direct our nation to. If we do not do that, it's going to be a national security issue. And I'm not going to be a prophet of doom, but it's going to happen. I'm not going to be a prophet of doom, but it's going to happen. And believe you me, it will happen. If we have the youth coming out every year, 200,000 every year, 200,000 students coming out, no jobs, 200,000 students coming out. Their parents give them their all, everything that they can use. All the money that they have, they give it to these kids. These kids go through school with the aim of coming out to get a job. And then they come out and there's no job. Then you sit down, you think about it. So what's the essence of going to school? At this point, before you can, at this point, you sit down and look at it and say, what is the importance of education? That kind of education that they gave us. We go to school, we learn all this stuff, and you come home, you cannot even paint your own room. You cannot even do a little garden in your own compound. You cannot do anything with your hands. And how are we going to live in a nation that the people cannot do anything with their hands? And all we are doing is book. And then the president comes out and added more with the free SHS. And then we are saying, why don't you make it a vocational? And nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Why are we not have? If we have vocational school, people are going to make their own shoes. I remember when I was growing up, there used to be in Pabwa, they used to make sandals, and they call it Kumasi and Pabwa, something like that. It was there. Because at that time, there was the MVTI and all that, National Vocational Technical Institute, something like that. All these schools were there. Why are we not making it lucrative for the people? The same way that the government made it so lucrative for everybody in Ghana wanted to do nurse. You know how the government introduced allowances for nurses and teachers, and all of a sudden, every person in Ghana wanted to be a nurse? Why can't we do that same for agriculture? Why can't we do same for agriculture? I sit down and think about it. Why cannot we do same for agriculture? Why can we not do the same for the industry so people can move. Let's say the president decided, okay, we are spending $10 billion on free SHS every year. Okay, that $10 billion, we are going to put it in vocational education. So every kid that goes into the vocational education is going to have an allowance. Don't you think kids were going to go into the vocational education? When they go into vocational education, they become skilled. So the everyday need of the people, everyday need of the people can be met. Needs like clothes, like building, shelter, like we all know shelter is a need. If we do not have people that can build, what do you think is going to happen? If we do not have people that can build, if Ghanaians cannot build, if Ghanaians cannot do anything with their hands, what do you think is going to happen? This is where the president or the next leader should focus on. So I urge every youth in Ghana that before you vote in the next election, you need to ask yourself, where do you want to vote? What do you want from this person that you are going to vote for? We need to get out from the era of mantras, the era of better Ghana agenda, one district, one factory. I believe in Ghana. Those mantras should be off. It should be people. It should be a leader, a person who can sit down and say, listen, we are not going to go this route anymore. We have done it for over a century now, and nothing has come out of it. We have done this for so many years, and nothing has come out of it. So how are we going to do it this time? Are we still going to sit down and act like we do not care? Are we still going to sit down and act like we do not care? If it is soccer that we know how to play, set up academies, export players, make money off the players. Brazil is running their whole economy with soccer players. Every year, there's millions of dollars, millions of pounds, millions of euros getting into the economy of Brazil because of soccer players. If that is what we can do, we should do it. If it is agriculture, we should do it. This form of yenko school, it's not helping. It's not helping. You go school near geography, near geography, you go history. Then we come out at nothing. Anthropology near the other. We come out, there's nothing for us. So this is something that we all need to look at. I think the Ghanaian youth is not angry. The Ghanaian youth is not angry. We have to be angry as a people. That enough is enough. What is the direction that you are putting this nation? What is the direction? I've heard some of them say, we are going to use tourism. Yes, it is good to use tourism. But what are the people themselves going to do? The people themselves, what are they going to do? It is hard. You see what so many people says, it is hard that somebody goes to the university, completes the university, probably done the masters. And then you expect that person, because there is no job, that person should come down and say, mate. It's impossible. It's so impossible. And I think those people that make that kind of argument should understand that it's hard. It's almost impossible for somebody to be able to make this decision. When you look at your life, that you go to school, you spend so much money just to go to school. And then you come back and you have to work with those same guys that didn't go to school, didn't spend no money, it's hard to come back and work with them. It's very hard. And that's why majority of the youth are staying home. Majority of the youth are fraud. They are in the fraud industry. Why? You cannot blame them. Can you? Can you blame them? Can we blame them? Can we blame the ladies that want to sell their bodies for money? Can we blame them? We cannot, because man must eat. Man must eat. You know, we cannot blame them. So this is where we are. So before you even vote for any leader, whether I say John Mahama and NDC Dinebebo, whether I say Baumio, Krede Japo, Alan Chabati, whoever the MPP will bring, it should be somebody who is willing to tow the nation into a different direction. So if it's going to be the same thing, yeah, then there's no point of even changing a government. Actually, there's no point. Let's look at 2016. We changing John Mahama for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. What's the difference? The value is the same. If not even the predecessor, probably better than the current one. So there's no point. There's no point of changing government if the government have no plan to move the nation forward. If a government have no plan to move a nation forward, then we have to do something as citizens. That is our job. Because if the president, the leaders, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, the arms of government does not address this problem that we are having in the nation of unemployment, it's going to be a lot of crime. You know when most Ghanaians keep saying, "Oh, Nigerians, there's a lot of crime in Nigeria. There's a lot of crime." Yeah, because there's a lot of unemployed people. There are hundreds, tens of millions of people who are unemployed in Nigeria, and that's why there's so many crime. So if we are churning out 200,000 graduates every year and there's no job for them, very soon Ghana is going to be crazy and it's going to be a national security issues. We are in Ghana. And China say they ba parliament. They fear over 10 million, over $20 million just for Nkunya. Imagine that 10 or $20 million is being invested in the regular Ghanaian in Ghana to make Nkunya. Is the government not going to tax the people for the money? That is how you build an economy. That's how you build an economy. Economy is not about slogans. It's not about who has the better campaign song. That's not how we build an economy. And building an economy is not waiting for 31st night and we are going to have a prosperous new year and everything will be better next year. Nah, that's not how we build an economy. Economy is built with plan. Economy is built with vision. An economy is built by dedication, persistence. That is how we build an economy. At this point, it is very tough. At this point, it is very, very, very tough. At this point, to even trust anybody in Ghana to do anything for you. You know why? Because everybody is suffering in the nation so much that everybody must eat. It is almost be $1 say, yeah, dear mamia, obekono ubenye 50 cents a day. You're not gonna get your $1 value because the person needs to eat. That is how the nation is right now. Think about it. Just sit down as a person and think about it. And then any ubia ko secondary school we nese amfa wadane rapper. We look at the guys of secondary school we na amfa no wadane rapper. Yeah. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? On na rapper say, "Untimi blame no. The ntia untimi blame no nyina na ye simple. The ntia untimi blame no ni nyina e simple. Because man must eat. Man must eat. Man must survive. Man must be able to take care of himself when he's sick. And untimi blame no. And then when you go to Ghana right now, the girls cannot survive, the ladies cannot survive. So what they do is they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. And these are the guys that help them to survive. How are we going to build a nation and we have all these natural resources, but yet we are not taking advantage of it? We keep exporting raw materials to the world, raw materials to the world. Raw materials to the world. Yes, we keep exporting raw materials every day. We mine gold. We mine bauxite, salt. And they are into Ghana, oil. We mine oil, but there's no oil company in Ghana. There's no single oil company in Ghana. Where we can say, okay, oil now, the crude out, the byproducts of crude, we are making money out of it. Yeah, we do not. Cocoa, boom, we ship it. Switzerland, US, Europe, Latin America, Southern America, Northern America. That's all we are doing. Asia, that's all we do. Every raw material that we have, we cannot sit down and say, oh, this raw material, we are going to make sure that it doesn't leave this nation. We are going to process it in this nation. We do not. None of us wants to do that. None of us wants to do that. And if we do not want to do that, what do you think we should do? Or what do you think is going to happen? What is going to happen is poverty. The thing called poverty is what is going to happen. Poverty is what is going to happen. We are all going to sit down and we are going to die of poverty. We are all going to sit down and then foreigners will come into the nation and treat us any way they want because their taxpayers' money is supporting our budget. You sit down and you think that they obi to be free America, obi to be free China, Eba Ghana, India, no abedi or PBR, you to be nyane free say the India. Their taxpayers' money, or not the taxpayers' money, no, that is what is supporting your budget every year. The budget now, Musibu Kwakusia sorry that their taxpayers' money is what is supporting it. It is Obado Obey your power. Why do you think that person should be punished? There are so many things that happens in the nation that we the citizens that we have no idea of that these things happen. There are so many things that happens in the nation that we the citizens do not understand why those things happen. Everything that we are suffering in this nation, everything that is happening to us so bad that we cannot even, sometimes we feel ashamed to talk about it, is because of bad leadership. There's no direction in the nation. There is no single direction. At this point, there's no even cultural identity. At this point, there is no single direction where the nation is going. We don't know. Nobody knows where the nation is going, where we want to move the nations to. Nobody knows. So we cannot even determine whether the nation is going bad or the nation is going good. All we are going to do is we're going to have two political parties that are going to come out, and when they come out, what they do is they defend. We raise attack, we defend attack. Raise attack, defend attack. Raise allegation, defend allegation. Raise allegation, defend allegation. That's all we are doing in the nation. When you wake up early morning in Ghana, the first thing you're going to hear is we have two political parties sitting on the radio and then defending and clearing. That's all you're going to hear. We are not hearing innovative people coming out with ideas and saying that this is how this is how we have to move this forward. This is how our education system has to be programmed. This is how we put vocation into it. This is how our churches should be regulated. No. All we are doing is attack and defend, attack and defend, attack and defend every day. How long are we going to do this? Think about it, my brother and my sister. How long are we going to do this as a nation? We have done this for a very long time. Think about the future of your grandchildren. Think about it. That you being in Ghana, you may think right now you're a young guy, you do not care. But in the next 20 years, where are you going to be? In the next 20 years, we will be all older men. Older. We probably have our kids having kids. Our kids will be having kids by then. We'll be having grandchildren. What will be the future of our grandchildren? As you are eating today, as you are enjoying today, think about it. Where is the next meal going to come from for your child or your grandchild? This is the direction we need to move our nation. We shouldn't sit down and do chew and pour in the year. Near Cotton, National Science and Math Quiz. Miss School, difference. We have Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and we cannot even produce anything science. Elevator, could we fix it? Nothing can we fix. And we are still believing in this kind of education. This is the type of education that we are still believing. Whilst people are making industries out of skilled labor. Go check with how much the Chinese are charging Apple to make parts for them. Can't we do something like that in Ghana? Tires on cars. We have rubber in Ghana. Rubber or Ghana. We can make tires. Why don't we have industries in Ghana? Sugar. Why should we even import sugar into Ghana? Think about it. We have the sugar cane. We have watermelon. All these fruits. Why are we not processing these fruits and exporting them to the Europe, to Asia? Why are we not doing this? Why are we not making agriculture so lucrative that the youth can get into it? Why are we not giving the youth incentives to go into agriculture? So we do not have to import jasmine rice from America, or jasmine rice from Malaysia, or jasmine rice from wherever that we get it from. Why are we not doing it? Why are we not putting industries that can make chemicals, like chemist industries, where we can have our medicines made by ourselves? One time I was sitting down and I thought about it, like, Ghana has gone to the IMF 17 times. Every sensible person, every smart person will know that the IMF is not our solution. If you are sick of a particular sickness and you go to a particular hospital for 17 times and you are still having that sickness, common sense will tell you that the remedy to your sickness is not in that hospital. This is what we need to. We need to build our human capital. That is what we need to build. Our human capital needs to be built. Our human capital needs to be built. We have kids that can read and speak good English and all that, and that's all they can do. They cannot even change light bulbs. They can read, speak good English, and that's all they can do. They cannot even change light bulbs. And this is the education that we are having in our nation. This is the kind of education that we are having in our nation. So you sit down and think about it. That if we as a people in the nation are sitting in the nation and our youth cannot do anything on their own, all they know is book. And per the book that they learn, it's all garbage. It's all garbage. It's all chew and pour. It's in their mind. And that cannot translate into any solution. It cannot solve anything. It cannot. Why are we not putting money? The free SHS, why are we not making it more vocational based? Why are we not? If people want their case to be lawyers, then they pay for it. If they want their case to be, if they want their case to be bankers, then they have to pay for it. But if case want to be veterinary officers, if case want to be if case want to go into agriculture, if case want to be steel benders, if case want to be mechanics, if case want to be CNC operators, then the nation should pay for that. Because those are the things that we need in our daily lives. In our daily lives, in our everyday lives. Those are the necessities that we need to be able to function. We need roofers, people that can roof our building. Quality roofing, not just roofing, quality roofing. We need painters, steel benders. We need straighters. The things that impacts our life immediately. Those are the people that we need to push our monies into them. You go give money, give somebody way, the person will learn for 12 years, 13 years, and the person comes out, no job. No job. In Ghana, even when a building is on fire, we don't even know what to do. Because the basic thing that they need to teach us, they are not teaching us. And they are teaching us things that we do not need, things that are not necessities. And that is the reason why I keep saying that they need to review our curriculum again. That Georgesburg curriculum is not going to help us. We need to move into agriculture and technical and vocation. We need to move into agriculture, technical, vocational. That is where we need to move to. And that is what will help the nation.
Adwuma with Kumasi Nyame on
that is what will help the nation.
Radio.
We as a people need to make a decision. We, the citizens, need to make a decision. We need to demand from the leaders who wants to lead us, from the people, the aspirants, those who want to lead us, those who want to be presidents in the nation. What exactly are you going to do for us? To create jobs. When people eat, they don't really care about what is going on. Everybody in the nation is angry. When you get to Ghana, everybody's angry. Because everybody is finding a way to eat today. And it's not like everybody is finding a way to eat for a week. Everybody's trying to find the daily bread, what they're going to eat in that day. And I think what we are doing to ourselves, to our children, and to our grandchildren, it will go back to bite us. Let's ask, let's seek, let's demand from our leaders. Let's not sit down and be puppet to these leaders because they come to serve us. They come to serve us and we do not serve them. They serve us. So let's demand what is right. If they do not know, then we need to show them how to go about it. That is how you run an economy. We cannot run an economy where the people are not involved in the economy. We need to be able to go more into manufacturing and production. And if we are able to do this, we are going to be able to tax the people. We are going to be able to get money from what we do from a hard job, and the people are not going to lack, and our city is going to be stable because we will not be important all the time. Once again, thank you for watching Adwuma with me, Kumasi Nyame. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Please share, like, and then invite people to join us. Thank you.